All right, on you go. Sorry.
Well, gee, thanks for starting the recording with me. A couple days ago was the anniversary of the overturning of Roe versus Wade by the Supreme Court, and so there are no or very few protections for women who are seeking abortions in the United States. So I have three. One's a kind of old one, and then the other two are more recent. The first one is called Agrai, and with apologies to anybody that actually speaks Galway. My heart archives both that which it understands and that which is hidden to understanding. Each touch, caress, kiss, slap, wound, scream, shout, worked out. Bereft of tender regard, a violence done to every sense and string. Longing records the need for tenderness, a sharp inhalation on a broken wheel. In the dark, silent eyes of calling birds, notice the grating beaks of crows, carrying Merryweather, mugwort, yellow jasmine, Darjeeling's tea. A frozen stream in a far north land, reviled for crimes not committed, opens a small portal, pours whiskey from a cordial glass with a green stem. Red vinegar flows like blood and wine, all the pomegranates sacrificed to thunder. Innocence is not worth keeping, because that which is bestowed when need comes knocking brings exhales of scarce breath. Duende in fair skin and secret places, fairly given, sweetly taken, laughter in a woman's bed. The candle is lit, wisdom keeps its counsel, benediction of nothing, everything, waiting for the morning dew. Thank you. The next one is short, it's called Spiderwebs. I now count myself as an old woman, by the way, since I'm 74 years old, and I like being in that place. Listen to the old woman, don't ask her name. She spins story cloth from a holy stone hidden in her pocket, sticky as a spider's web, tight as felt. Final blessings come through her mouth, woven into empty spaces there, between threads of chants. Thanks. And the next one I wrote on the anniversary day of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which, by the way, since I'm as old as I am, I was there when it was first passed. And now women are having to fight this fight again in the United States. And this one is dedicated to John Prine and Bonnie Raitt. I am an old woman named after a flower. My daughter was a child who didn't grow old. Don't call me grandma, granny lady, or dear. A woman has more worth than a body that procreates, or a daughter's body that procreates. And if you don't know her, assumptions are useless and rude. Abrupt in speech, nuance, or gradations of meaning. She may have lost what you are praising. Don't kick her in the stomach out of ignorance because you have failed to inquire. A wise woman, an elder with juice, a berry of great price. She knows more than you do. Her life is a secret. Ask for her stories. Be respectful and guarded, sacrosanct, stunned, and hope that one day she and her true sisters hold sway. If the door ever swings open to what she knows about love, hearts will be saved. Bullets will be melted down. Knives will go back into pockets, and she will smile. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sharon. Thank you. Lovely pieces. Lovely. Thank you very much. All right, Mehia.
Yeah. Am I audible? Is it?
Yep, loud and clear.
Okay. Okay. And if you're recording, I'm happy to be recorded. Okay, my first poem is called Democracy in Peril, and it's really a reaction to Biden hosting Narendra Modi and giving him an opportunity to address the Houses of Parliament. Narendra Modi is, as you probably know, he's quite a butcher. So when the two big democracies of the world come together, I really feel democracy is at risk. Democracy in peril. In two historic houses, oceans and continents apart, termites proliferate, gnawing wooden window frames, celebrating the crumbling of homes into heaps of mud. Within each house, one known for nonviolence, the other for liberty, hundreds of humans flail, watching solid wood reduced to sawdust. Wood gets gobbled up, but stone walls stand strong. Cactus claws from cracks, stretching skywards. Buds peep at cacti tips, welcoming sunlight. As heat seeps into stone, termites huddle into holes, sinking into a morass. In streaming sunlight, mud piles collapse. Maybe the last is wishful thinking, but that's the way it is. After this, I'm going to read a series of short poems. The whole series is called Small Creatures. And they look at different animals, insects, those kind of things. The first one is chick. Beak pecks eggshell. Chick wriggles free, cracking, constricting cell. Caterpillar. A caterpillar struggles to split its skin, wriggles to crawl out, reaches beauty, then flies away. Bird. When the wind blows, the bird clutches a stunted tree stump. Yet he knows if he's blown off, he can always fly. Beetle. You climb too fast, little red beetle. Now, afraid to come down, remain stuck halfway up a grass blade. Don't you know, only the ground can lead another way. Parrot. Proud parrot perched on the peak of a tree. Wish I could see what you see. Fireflies. When every tree lights up the night with fireflies, the monsoon is only hours away. Thank you.
Thank you, Meek. I really like that short animal poetry. That's, yeah, different. Loved it. Thank you. All right. Alexandra's not here. So Neil.
Thanks, Finn. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Okay, thanks. Yeah. So I've got a few short ones. The first is heteronyms. Here it goes. Both of you leaders who lived centuries apart, both of you fell to cowardly guns, that hid in the crowd or lurked in theater wings. One of you died mid-sentence, the other off stage, his most famous address long delivered. For one, his wife rushed to his side. In time past, the other wife, horrified, watched as the assassin's bullets did their hideous work. Both of you towered above your fellow men. Honestly, to know your measure, Abe, we would need an astrolabe. And as for you, Shinzo, you lived up to your surname, or at least one of its meanings, multiple times, leading your nation more than once. As for the other meaning, that too, yes, you did stand for peace. Both of you did, but it ended in blood for you both, heteronyms. So that's the first. And the second is more of a personal one, in keeping with some of the poets who read very personal bereavements. This is dedicated to my father-in-law, who died at the age of 94. He actually fought for the British Indian Army at the time, and he saw action in the Burma theater of war. And the ship he was being transported in was actually torpedoed by the Japanese, and he nearly lost his life in that. So there's some references to that. And the corps that he served for more than 50 years in was the Signals. So the poem is titled The Signal. His chamber cloaked in silence now, he lies in darkness waiting. But the evening will be upon us soon, and there's securing to be done. He listens at the floorboards as he peeps beneath the bed, turning creaky keys and creaky locks, alert to the prowler's tread. His chamber cloaked in silence now, he lies in darkness waiting. The armies marching up the garden, their assassins in the ceiling, the enemies at the window, and their tribals in the trenches. His chamber cloaked in silence now, he lies in darkness waiting. All at once he's on a tossing deck, the scream of waves about him. Will he sense or hear the U-boat rise from the ocean all around him? His chamber cloaked in silence now, he lies in darkness waiting. Does he still recall the deadly hiss of torpedoes speeding towards him? Does the clangor of the broken boat echo in the waters that surround him? His chamber cloaked in silence now, he lies in darkness waiting. Will the crescendo of the whirlpool deafen and consume him? Will he hear the voices in the room urging him to surface? Does he tune into some distant music, a sound that only he can hear? The tinny of the tolling bell, the notes sound loud and clear. This then is the signal he was waiting for, and so he lets the waters take him. And I have one last, let me just get one. Thank you. And yeah, and I've just written this one recently. It's called Dreams. Sorry, it's taking a second to load up. Yeah, dreams. Maybe a caterpillar does dream that it will morph into a butterfly. Its dreams dangle like drizzle as it drifts into a pupa's trance, hanging upside down, a blood rush to the head. Dreams that feed on themselves, constantly nibbling at possibilities. Dreams that feed on dreams, starting on the inside, working their slow way in meandering, mesmerizing munches through the silky softness of sleep, of cocoon cadaver, where in the blink of an eye, fragments may form or dreamily disappear in a dissolve. Surfacing from submarine slumber, these dreams may take wing or be pulled back, grounded by the gravity of self-delusion or the sowing of doubt seeds. A butterfly, dreaming it was a man, dreaming it was a butterfly, a cosmic continuum, recurring again and again, relentless, an insignia to infinity, and back to the very inception. A dream is like a spinning top which does not stop, even when you want it to. Thank you.
Oh, butterfly dreaming. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Neil. Always a pleasure to hear you. Always a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
All right. Next up, anything in London, Carrier, sir.
Thank you, sir. Giving praises to the eternal. My mind's unreceptive to the light of the sun. My heart is heavy with the cares of tomorrow. The eyes, though wide open, gaze without luster, seemingly lost in confusion. I know that heaven has showered my soul with beauty, adorned me with rays of the most peerless kind. Yet the emotions are tainted, covered with layers of unabandoned regrets. I dwell in an abyss of past sufferings which still haunt my present, leaving a current world of uncertainties, checkmating myself like chess players, looking aimlessly for knights and queens yet to manifest themselves. If only I was adorned like rainbows, a child that sits in clouds bedecked in silken raiment, with diamond crowns and golden trinkets as my opulent companions. Alas, little did I know that sunrise and sunset will inevitably merge as one. Love's light was burning, a steady flame in the inner lanterns of the soul. As such, I became complacent, walked backwards like Lot's wife, and became a pillar of salt, too saline within to remove my ancient scars. Yet in your mercy, you have shown me a way. I now know that love is the medicine to transform regrets. The bewildering light giving fragrances to roses make leaves cascade grandeur in the rose pink of falls. It's been a hard struggle, yet I know by faith that I am light, a golden beacon in this realm of darkness. I need nothing else, for you have given me the tools necessary to manifest your glory, the courage to endure the trials of life. Stifling my feelings was never a good idea, as the pain remained and like thorns on roses reminded me when the problems resurfaced. Now, like a valiant knight, I can drift between courage and fear repeatedly, remembering thy love. My nights are no more restless, and regret has become simply an obstacle I just needed to let go. Now I unfurl with the beauty of flowers, shine in the radiance of moons and stars. I hear the minstrel's bugle blow, whip with the soul of 1,000 lovers, all giving praise to the eternal, with me calling out thy name. Do I have another one? Can I do another one? Gracias.
Yeah,
Love's letter.
of course.
Love's letter to my soul. Love's sweet voice, ever so gently, offered an eloquent letter to my soul. Hers was the light of enduring sunsets, heralding the grandeur of twilight to sparkle anew like the glimmering sunrise of the morn. Enveloped in her gaze, the sun, moon, and twinkling stars were only shadows. I wept tears of joy as one lost for 1,000 years and danced like snowflakes drifting with the breeze. My memories of sad thoughts and wasted emotions dissolved in wings of light. To tell a sacred truth, I'm not afraid anymore. We're paired as one, and even the heavens and goddess Gaia are obedient to your commands. Who will match the bewilderment of thy smile? Now I know why Da Vinci's Mona is so immaculate and timeless. Towering and matchless is your silhouette, and so my longing cup palms together like a daffodil in prayer, awaiting the rays of thy breathless kiss. Ah, how can I describe the wine that mutes my tongue, inebriating my soul with nectar? Resplendent are thy rays, bathing my core with the arrow of love. Erroneous are those who try to erase your tenderness, the magical words you wrote, the nameless tapestry without equal under heaven. Your calligraphy is imbued with the ink of immortals, the intimacy of his delicate strokes 100 times more exquisite than rainbows. Rancor, to me, was a dark forest of loneliness until you came, that is, licking the venom of my festering wounds, replacing them with your effulgent carousels. Sweet Shyama, the fire of your unspoken parchment has rekindled all my hopes. I now cast asunder all remnants of my broken dreams. I reach for the all-illumining light, the one that heals conjoined twins, such as my cobwebs and shadows. Past regrets now fade into oblivion. I dine in the ecstasy of your celestial love. Lantern Carrier, thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, sir. Thank you always. Thank you always.
Thank you,
Always a
thank you.
pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure. Okay, Richard Harris.
Thank you, Finn. I'm really pleased to follow that. I mean, they've all been amazing, but wow, Lantern, you as always are fantastic. Well, I've got a trigger warning for the first couple. I haven't got anything new, so I'm doing ones you may have heard before. I've been asked by a Ukrainian refugee here in Withensea who runs a podcast, I think it's a podcast, I'm never sure of these things, if he can read my this poem on this radio station to the Ukraine. And apparently it's got 1.5 million followers. So anyway, that would be rather good if that many people. I don't suppose they'll all be listening at once, but anyway. And this is Dust and Rubble. And it was inspired by a short film that was on the news a couple of years ago. The film started, a young woman came into view, dressed in anorak and woolly hat. Walked up to a stunning white piano, she flexes her fingers, takes her seat, brushed the dust and rubble away from the keyboard. So sad I am in floods of tears, so sad, how can this be? She starts to play and is magical. Passion and creative genius flow as the music from her heart and soul pour from her fingers, so beautiful. The piano is her baby, you can tell she loves it so much. The camera pans to the floor, dust and debris everywhere. So sad I'm in floods of tears. So sad, how can this be? We see the home in disarray. Broken doors lying in heaps on the floor, dust and debris in a cared-for home. Artwork still hanging on the walls. The music flows on as we watch in horror. The invasive destruction of her family home. The message is clear. She is leaving today, leaving all behind. So sad. I am in floods of tears. So sad. How can this be? So that's the first one. Then people keep asking me, including dear Leslie Constable, who is not here but is on the list, or I can't see her anyway, been asking me to do some of my historical poems, and this really has some horrible stuff in it, so this needs a trigger warning. I've got it written over here because I can never remember what to say. Anyway, so this is the story of King Richard I. He is lauded throughout history as a great warrior king, a fearless fighter. His name has resounded through the ages. Did it deserve to? I think not. As a young man, he conspired with his brothers and waged war against his own father. Violence, death, and destruction being the result. When he became king, he neglected his country, being rarely there, seeing it merely as somewhere he could raise taxes, money for his wars. His crusades, which he saw as glorious, created hatred, and his mass executions of 2,500 humans in the name of Christ, of so-called infidels, who he felt deserved to die because their faith was not his own, have left their dreadful, murderous legacies lasting even today, as the hate caused more bloodshed throughout the centuries. His legacy of blood and death lives on even today. All this while he neglected his country and his wife. England he left exposed to the evil of his brother John, whose vile ways also resound through the ages, as he earned the reputation as the country's most hated monarch. His wife, poor Berengaria, who he married, then rarely saw. No family life for her, no love, no children, as she languished abroad, not being given the chance to provide Richard with an heir. The rumours of his sexuality grew, who knew? But his distance from his wife and lack of heir made those rumours grow more. So he's been called the Lionheart. Certainly in battle he was fearless indeed, but that was when he was pursuing his own goal, what he wanted to do. A selfish and vain man was he, and for England, a disastrous king. I feel very strongly about him, actually. So, and then I've got a daft one, which is true, one of my anecdotal poems, and I gather it's going to be published in a magazine in Gloucestershire. And I'd almost forgotten it, so there you go. Bargain in the Dales. Eileen found a bargain great on eBay, and she did ask if I would hate to drive up to the Yorkshire Dales, because unless her bid failed, she would be the owner of a large floral wicker chair, and it was in the hamlet right up there. I did sigh and ask her why did she want this great thing, but then a day out it did bring for an amazing £1, this wondrous thing she had found. This was not all that was for sale, the rest got large sums, but this did fail to make loads of money for the man. No doubt this had not been part of his plan. I phoned the owner and did ask for an address. He did take me to task. We don't have street names and numbers here. To have one would be rather common, I fear. I wanted to say, oh, la-di-da, oh dear, but he talked with a sneer. We just have names of houses, discreet. How will I find it? Maybe it will me beat. I live in a Mulberry Cottage, you see. Well, how will I know which one that is to be? I don't know what you mean. This Hamlet is as exclusive as can be. You only have to use your eye, said he, with a plaintive sigh. I would have thought it would be obvious to all. Why else would I my residence so call? It's the only place here painted mulberry. So you merely have to look for that colour and you will find me. So off we went, and a great day spent to Ripon and Richmond so fine, and in the castle grounds did dine. Eileen likes hats so well, and bought 3 so swell. What a cheap day it was turning out to be. But after all, the chair was nearly free. We reached the village where I have to say a mulberry-coloured house was there. This was the poshest of places, I agree. I even had rather a sumptuous afternoon tea. And so we got this damn great wicker chair for £1. I will add that the 3 hats were from a charity shop. I think they call welfare in America or something, second-hand, for a charity. Anyway, there you go. And I am amazed somebody wants that, so there you go. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mulberry. That's one way to identify your house, isn't it? Mulberry. All right. Who's up next? Yeah, Catherine.
Howdy. Gee, it's nice to be back. I haven't been here in quite a few months because I've been moving and moving and moving, as you can see by the boxes. And so this one is called iPhone. I don't want no iPhone because I got my track phone. I don't need an iPhone, no radiation for me. I'll never get an iPhone because I love my track phone. I call cabs on my flip phone. I still love my 4G. I won't buy no iPhone, loyal to my track phone. I'm afraid of those iPhones, no brain tumors for me. I don't get those iPhones. Give me my simple track phone. I flip it up, punch the numbers in, easy as 1, 2, 3. I don't trust your iPhones. Happy with my track phone. I don't have to buy upgrades like iPhones 10 to 33. I won't switch to any iPhone. I like using my track phone. Yeah, I call my friends on my flip phone. I still love my 4G. I don't want no iPhone because I got my track phone. I don't need an iPhone. No radiation for me.
Thank you. Yeah, my mum's the same. She's got an old Nokia that she got a new one for Christmas a couple of years ago. It's exactly the same, just a different color. So that's her. All right. Please welcome. We've got very early, first time blotter, first time on Blot of the Blue. So would you please give a wonderful blot welcome to Gina Carrillo, Black Widow.
Thank you. Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm so excited. This is my first time on this Zoom. So I'm Black Widow. I'm a spoken word artist from Franklin, Tennessee. Franklin's 30 minutes south of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm also the creator of the Prodigal Poets Poetry Crew. I created that crew about a year ago, and we've been performing in Nashville and surrounding cities weekly. I have a couple books out on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, one called Kaleidoscope, another one's Poets United, which is an anthology with 51 poets around the world. So today I have a couple pieces for you. Oh, our callback in the chat, I forgot. We have a callback. It goes, go poet, and you say flow it. So go poet, flow it. So let's get started. Today I have Disturbed for you. This piece is about Frankenstein. It's also about how I related to him and what I went through beating stage 3 breast cancer. Disturbed. Silent raindrops fell like tears outside the castle. I'm aching for you. Whisper away my anxieties. Imagine hearing you in my head. Darkness consumes, fire burning, foggy fumes. Thoughts of a better life cracking through my skin. Experiences I want to have more. They're talking about me, town people knocking at the door, not understanding my needs aren't that demanding. Looking on to broader horizons. People try to kill what they do not know, also try to bring back alive something that had died. Don't create me, make me feel so real, then turn my scared head. I'm undaunted. I wasn't the one that wanted to be brought back, haunted, not like this. Now they wonder about how I act. This isn't what I thought. Can't blame me for how I react. Your experiment was unsuccessfully simulated. Still some unconscious flesh not stimulated. This operation not quite like the illustration raised from the dead. There are crevices in my soul that can't be sealed with a kiss. Mended memories of my past remain. This new life is just not right. What others experience is just not the same. Raised up with the tragic lightning, my appearance now very frightening. Who could love such sorrow creatures with bloody, messy features, just painfully stitched together? Is there someone out there like me? Finding them would calm my fears, wishing with these Franken ears, just hoping and dreaming. Sometimes I'm concerned, will I ever really learn? I'm just a zombie walking, limping to the side, still talking about this strange new world. Inside, internally perturbed, unsettled, and just disturbed.
Whoa.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. So this next piece I have for you today is called Widow in the Dark. It's about overcoming and getting through grief of losing my husband. I am an actual widow. My husband passed away in 2010 due to sleep apnea, and I have dreams that I'm with him again. I just feel so wonderful. And then I have nightmares that I'm warning him that he's going to die. And I wrote this piece called Widow in the Dark. Dreamt of you again, seemed so real. Intimacy relived, warmth of an embrace, seeing your face, feeling your skin, true happiness within, reaffirming that you'll never leave. Please stay, always there, yet I'm deeply bereaved. You will only remain in my hourglass, bits and pieces of diamond like sand, glistening like stars in the night sky, twinkling, always reminding me why I'm left grasping onto a memory and it is slipping through my hand. Keeping ashes and silver jewelry, once always worn every day. Heaviness still fills me in every way. Past pictures put away now. I'm unable to look at them for long. I don't know how. It still hurts too much when I hear a song and such. Looking at quotes on a windowsill, still feeling a emptiness inside. Overwhelming constant rain on a daily life. Tears are hard to contain. Looking forward, trying to sustain, remaining just a widow in the dark, weaving webs to comfort the loneliness inflicted, imagining at times that I'm not injured. How much can a soul withstand? There's a tragic prolonging, questions consume, eating away inside my head. Why am I left alive when you are dead? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh.
Love you. Thank you so much. Okay, so this last piece I'll do for you today is called Bewitched. It's a magical, enchanting piece about witches. Fear not the witches, but those that burn them alive, jealous of them taking power from the earth without poisoning the soil. More entertaining being the magical princess than the being the magical enchantress than the helpless princess who couldn't toil. Although alone, widowed with no children, however embodied with the power of a sorceress. Call me a necromancer, watch me sparkle outside with pride. Curious on how I dress, it's the true me, not to impress. The words I write, wanting to gain some insight, asking me if I might be a complex hex left you perplexed. They tried to drown us while worshiping God, will not be put down, head held high with a flower crown, dancing under the pale moonlight with those that fill my heart. Prodigal poets tribe, consistently giving me the strength to keep on. Can you hear this enchanting song? Insides formed from the sands, melted together from when I was scorched at the stake, from those that wanted to take, bewitched wounds sewn together with dark thread, she double stitched, made a new life for myself while embracing haunting nightmares. Will you wake up scared of what you did? It will not be hid. Come for me again. Hear sounds of a screaming woman that can't be submerged. Shadows cast of the southern skinwalkers from the woods emerged, just misunderstood. Moonlights of those eyes, glow in the dark battle axe, arrows of defense. It all makes sense. Such a sight to be seen. From the darkness emerges the queen. Let those real eyes inside the past storybooks all have lies. This world is full of monsters with friendly, judgmental faces that go to church on Sundays. And there are colorful haired angels with tattoos and scars, wearing eclectic clothes, gravitating close to those. This may be the day that you learn I'm the descendant of the witch you weren't able to burn. Thank you all. Love y'all.
Oh, thank you. Wow, thank you. Well, what a way to make a Blot debut. Thank you very much.
Woo.
And it's just a pity our resident, we have a resident witch that comes to the Blot every week, but she's not here tonight. I don't know where Kelly Buchan. She's been with us forever. So thank you very much, Sheena. Thank you. Wonderful. All right, Chris Begg.
Thank you, Finn. Hello all. Nice to see you again. Two for you tonight. One is completely new, one from a while ago, which was resurrected as a reminder. The new one, it was a great privilege to write, is for a young couple who lost their baby recently. And the baby was born dead. And their story so moved me that I wrote this poem. And I'm very pleased to say that it's lovely when a poem can be given as a gift. And I gave them this poem as a gift, and it was actually read at the baby's funeral. So I have got their permission to read this for you tonight. It's called Ever Be. Mum and Dad, you will ever be. Despite the pain that separates us now, the anguish of our strife and sharing our short life, I will ever be your son. I will ever be in the tears that are shed, in these, the dark times. I will ever be in my name being said, the smile that will come in the memory of me. Mom and Dad, you will ever be. Small and frail, I passed through your lives, but you'll never stop thinking of me. You gave me your love to protect me from pain. Always say my name when you think of me again, and always, always think of me again. Mom and Dad, you will ever be. I am with you in the morning light, as tears fall in the dark of night, as the wind calls through the forest snows. Time will pass as life goes on. Let me go with you. My mum and dad, you will ever be. Say my name when you speak of me. There is a day when you'll hold my hand as we play together in the summer lands. So say my name. Let me ever be. Thank you. Okay, this one is from a while ago, but I was reminded of this when I was meeting with some friends, and there was one guy there who hadn't retired yet. I was talking about deadlines, and I wrote this when I was struggling, before I retired, when I was a working man, and I wrote this about deadlines. Scrambling clocks of anxiety tick onwards as time shrinks and stress advances, growing in potency as deadline approaches. Deadline, line of the dead, the end of the line, the stopping of time, the bright lit sign to stop, and perched on cliff top of unknowing if deadline is met. Then I am set for life, I tell myself. Travis draws the line of the time as days, hours, seconds under bombardment fall. The Alamo fell, as will I, as I will. No setting up for now, only crumbling of time, blocks of assurance collapse as failure is mine. The day after, deadline met. Am I contented? Gratified to meet the deadline. What to do with my time, when to do with my time, where to go with my time, who to see with my time. Why do I fret my newfound time? The answer is simple. No deadline. I need a deadline to deal with dubiety. I need new variety. As scrambled clocks of anxiety tick onwards. I am very happy being a retired man now, not to have deadlines. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. And thanks, Finn, for allowing me on tonight.
No problem, Chris. Thank you. Thank you. The only deadline I have is this, which is great. All right. Hey, roll. The Zoom is yours, sir.
Thank you, Finn. Good to see you guys again. Good to be back, Finn. Hope you're all well and in good spirits. Got a couple of pieces I'll share with you. Good to be here for the artist and her featured sets. I'm looking forward to that. All right, I'll share a relatively new piece that I'm not sure is finished in an older piece. This piece is called To Live Within Death. In these times of constant pleas, diving into ideas, intellect not free, we load the destructive creative process, for it is our purpose to live within death, to embrace the gifts of life's philosophies as we question the struggle of life itself. My cup runneth full, overflowing as the adventure continues. I sit perched on an unsturdy throne in the madness of these shifting times, walking through the discomfort of my mind to see beyond limiting thoughts. Resilient desire only to embrace the struggle. For freedom at times can disguise this truth. Morals can be twisted by fearful hands, but memory is long and sometimes blind. My destiny is by choice and not chance, at times tainted in the pursuit of mastery. Empty words blur and divide as utopia becomes laced with anxieties. I water my dreams with nurturing thoughts to bear my challenges into brighter days. My joy flows from the ethos that is my soul, for I am the surrender. I am the calm. End of piece. And I'll end with this piece. This is an older piece, but for some reason I felt like reciting it today. It's called Suspended Moment. The other night as I stood in the light rain conversing with my higher power in the full practice of gratitude for being on the right side of the dirt and the day's experience, this happened. You know that feeling? The feeling when you move your hand just right and you hit one singular raindrop in full flight? That feeling of exhilaration? It's like being a kid on a swing, reaching the apex from a push. Just before the descent, there's a moment where you float in a suspended moment. To fully let go, hands off the ropes, arms in perpendicular splendor. That sensation of flying like a bird carefree as spirit unplugs from the internal story. Being connected to the innocence of the moment, in the existence of the moment. I'm a witness to my thoughts as they dissipate before my eyes. Gravity and I dance a dance that seduces my imagination to be heroic in all future moments. That state of oneness is what death might feel like. No pain, no knowing, just being. I'm in grace with everything and nothing of the one raindrop. Its magic is the same infinite jolt that births life as it propels me through the unknown. From within the cryptic underbelly of the universe, it is revealed to me that the universe is my mind that crafts a series of suspended moments. And as I blindly navigate through the fog of memories that shape the illusion of my reality, my memories are frames of suspended moments where front is back and the back is being, in a scrambled sequence playing in the theater of conscience where time is neither space nor hold. So here I am, snatched back into my moment of gratitude, shaking my head in disbelief, questioning the lucid feeling that shapes the reality within my world. Either way, glimpse was experience, a glance into the power of the moment. The oneness, stillness, chaotic, playful, noisy, beautiful nature that is life. Connecting me to the collective consciousness that wraps me warmly in the blissful ignorance of knowledge. Here I stand in the rain, knowing that feeling cannot be washed away as I free fall on my swing, back to zero, floating in a suspended moment that is everything and nothing. End of piece. Blessing, poets.
Wow, 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 beautiful, beautiful. Right, before we go to Michael, I never know if I'm going to read or not during the thing, but I wait till something or someone inspires me to read. And there's been a lot of poems tonight dealing with personal loss and death in gracious ways, and we're all peace there. I'm going to read this one. I read this on where will be Thursday at a gig in Aberdeen, and it's called Flux. It's called Somewhere in My Past There's a Future Waiting to Be Found, and the sound of memories, some broken or littered on the ground. My head recoils at thoughts unkind, a life that happened whether you want it or not. The spot that never heals conceals many flaws and laws that you never knew existed. Watch out, it will have caught up with you, taking you unawares as you stared into the abyss, trying to see what you might become, long past scared. In crimes with rhymes from times still to be, awaken the dead who are not yet born, forlorn hopes and dreams that in the future you had, erasing time before it gets here. But the truth is, there is no journey. We're all arriving and departing at the same time. And if you think, therefore you will be, as you are before, as the door to the past is the portal to the future, where sutures help to seal the wound and some time alone heals them. They can scheme and plan and try to escape. The best is yet to come, when even Ornate Coleman knew, or he will know, that tomorrow is the question. Answer when you can, if you haven't already. Time is flux. It breathes in many places, checking you out as you check in. It will play with you, toy with you, all the while keeping its eye on you, keeping time, dancing to the same song. And not everyone remembers the music, but I do. And I can put the needle back on the turntable. It's not sliding doors. It's not the fork in the road. It's not a choice. Is it a flashback, flash forward to another time, or the same space? The lives we lead are like tracks in the fallen leaves. The glitches that appear in your reality are just ripples, no ghosts, no mysterious shadows. It's neither here, nor there, nor is, was. Death isn't the song's end, just punctuation. Right. Okay. Thank you. Michael Sindler.
Hey, that was quite the punctuation there. Man, it's amazing how much we've gotten, like everything we've been through in just an hour. I would like to screen share, please. And it looks like you've got it set up, so that's all cool. Some of you, I have the feeling probably most of you will recognize who this is by. And this is called Boy and Dog in a Johnny Pump, 1982. And the painting is by Jean-Michel Basquiat. You having fun? Your color getting washed off. I can see your bones. I can see your little hounds shaking off droplets, dripping red, dripping blue, shaking shock of dreadlocks as you puddle dance on sidewalk. Sunshine drips like spray paint. You having fun? You already a ghost. Red blood anger all in these streets. Everything smeared, unclear, finding fun in landmine landscape right here on front of stoop. Dance while you can, little man. Let your fat black dog howl beside you, confused, mystified, loving you being happy. Not long till that skeleton be all there is. Soak up all that sunwash, all that splash. All you got is a dog in a minute. Jump right in it. You having fun? Soak it all up. You having fun? Shake it off. You having fun? You having fun? And yeah, I was wrote that in a class that I did at Lit Fest at Lighthouse Writers recently, which was a wonderful, wonderful thing. I'm gonna follow that with this one called To Carry Me to Here. I could count my life by loss, make long list of left behinds and torn aways, etching marks down a scroll of every unkind word, every splinter of spite reflectively scratched and scrawled. I could set ablaze bonfire of collected heartbreak stacked over dry kindling of held on to insults, insinuations, hurts, and disadvantages. I could edit indelible images onto a circular roll, run film of failure over and over, the only light a flashing figure of someone I used to be. I could rub my finger over every scar, cursing the fight or fall or fault or foolish faith that led to inevitable injury, an uncertain lesson learned or unlearned, healed incompletely, but complete enough to carry me to here. I could scream name after name into the wind where no one, not even I, could hear, much less recount this litany of recrimination. I could give my power to the past and use up what spirit I have left, but I choose to let what was be, and be today's, not yesterday's me. And moving on, do this one, which is another one I wrote during Lit Fest. I was so lucky to get to take a workshop with Forrest Gander, who is just one of the great poets and such a wonderful human being, I got to tell you. This is called Perfect Until. Shh. The baby. Tiptoe over. Took me so long to get him to bed just a little while ago. Shh. Look at that head. Who'd ever think he was just crying and crying himself to sleep? Hair wisp halo, each toothless breath. Shh. Look at that blanket rise, finger curled on fringe. Was any rose as soft and pink as the blush on his cheek? Shh. Cat, don't you come creeping. I'll toss you outside if you try and jump up. That's right, curl yourself around on the rug. Let your purr match his breath. Shh. Come here, honey. What do you think? You could catch your death just waiting. You could rest here forever. Shh. Don't wake him. He's perfect. He's so perfect till his diaper needs changing. And let me see if I got, I'll do one more. It's short. Told you. I told you this life was killing me. I was never made for tranquility, drowning in domesticity, trapped in place, floating out to sea, the high cost of utility, the wine dark depth of futility, veiled sunshine covers pale reality. I told you, but you would not see. Okay, thank you very much.
A wonderful and varied set tonight, Michael. Yeah, I love that. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you indeed. All right, we have one more before we come to a feature point. So Terry. Then.
Hello, I'm here. Sorry, took me a minute to get situated. Okay, so let's see. Here we go. Where is it? Where did it go? Oh, here it goes. Turning pain into hummingbirds is new to me, but I'm getting better at it as I swim so effortlessly through the sleep and awakes of this storm-filled life. The calm before the pain is here, which signifies all hell breaking loose any minute of any given day. Humming through the tornado and hurricanes, singing louder than the thunder. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Oh, short and sweet. Thank you, Terry. Okay, we come now. Welcome to our feature of this evening, Kiana the Artist. got a long bio. I'll read a bit of it. She blazed on the writing arena back in 2010 when she was in high school, performed in conferences, churches, and open mics all over the city, all over the world. His poetry is an inspiration when she expresses it through words and dancing. Her focus as a new artist is to encourage others to be in touch with their emotions, and she does that. She strives to be a motivated and inspired, well-known artist around the world. So please welcome Kiana, the artist.
Thank you, guys. All right, I'm gonna go into the thing. Thank you. Broken mirror. The family designs of a perfect human being. The family who fight the most abuser attack to one to another. Broken mirror. Picking up the pieces of broken lives, broken dark seekers, broken rape, broken hate, broken jealousy, and broken pain. Broken mirror. Picking up the pieces of broken tears, broken selfishness, broken control, broken abuse tongue to mankind, and broken class. Broken mirror. The family who never to be healed tend to walk around with pieces of not overcoming the truth of each attacker. Broken mirror. Our mirrors are broken from mankind. Our mirrors are broken from not healing from one past hurts to past abuser, childhood trauma, and broken mirror. My next poem. Triggers to our mask. It's our triggers that shows us we can do it versus we can't do it. Our triggers in which we fight to make to see it fake, or we fight to make it to find help. Our triggers didn't give us the tool to be afraid. It gave us a tool to either stay down or push us to recover of the mistakes of the family tree and give us to destroy to do better. Triggers wasn't a tool to give us each humankind. Race is given to break generation. Triggers, we don't want you. Triggers, we gave you away and not stones. Triggers, we aren't grown it for new chapters to be. Does triggers define us in our family tree? Does our triggers define us in our moment of cry of help? Does our triggers define our peace of mind? Do our triggers reerase all the bad to good traits from one to another and to do better? Triggers, we sign agreement to never bring it, but to do great. Amazing, the full of life is amazing. The amazing of grace, the amazing of love, beauty, touch, live, the song. God is amazing. We can wake up and talk, that's amazing. We can go to school, that's amazing. We all have gifts and talents, that's amazing. Today, God is amazing for showing us purpose through him. That's amazing. I look into the world of my fantasies, not knowing the world is my reality. My verses versus my reality, my fantasy versus my reality. I thought it was normal to live for. I was born to be Black. I am this issue that's called relationships. I live in a world that all types of relationships, abused, neglected, no home training. We live inside of you versus I could be your mother, thinking I have the same goals as you. I thought it was normal to live for. Once I was in love, I asked myself, what does it mean to be in love? Love defines it in a dictionary, so why is it between a man and a woman? Love, as a story in a book. Love, as a Bible verse, love that never as themselves. Define love in the moment. We live in the moment. We live in the moment of our past. We live in the moment of our present. We live in the moment of our future. We live in the moment. 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 Creativity. Please pass me the mic. I was once called creativity. Creativity, I say. That is who I am. Creativity, creativity, creativity. My naysayers and my haters, they cannot control me, telling me who I am, telling me who I am. Creativity, creativity, creativity. That is who I am. Creativity. My naysayers and my haters, they cannot control me, telling me who I am, telling me who I am. Creativity, creativity, creativity. That is who I am. Creativity, open-minded. And the world we live in, open-minded through our families, in our lives. See, we grew up in our minds to be open-minded, not to be closed-minded. Our world is open-minded of how we're supposed to be in ourselves, creating our mind, creating our heart, creating who we're supposed to be, that open-minded. See, the open-minded helps us to be gentle, and open-minded to help us to be stability. The open-minded means give us a mind to believe in ourselves, because in ourselves, we are somebody with the open-minded. I open-minded, I open-minded, I open-minded. We live in this world of open-minded. I open-minded of understanding that in our open-minded, we see better. We see better in who we supposed to be, not the world created in a closed-minded. Our closed-minded makes us foggy, but in our open-minded, we are not foggy. Open-minded, open-minded, open-minded. We are open-minded. Okay, more minutes. Okay, let's see. Do one more new poem with you guys, and be looking out. My new book will be coming out soon, and another new little book coming out. So be looking out. Have my struggles, but hey, it'll be out soon. A world of free skin. Deep into the world of trees is more is the trees in the place of skin, our color. A tree of many colors in which our family have to show us to grow in every generation to next generation. The color of many, if it's in red or is in dark color, is it a tree of which a family grows. It's a world of beautiful colors in which trees of families. Our skin is many trees and manners of which brought to give us hope and change in great colors. Deep into the tree colors, the colors of shades of each color. It's not just a tree of each beautiful skin color. It's a color that keeps on going. A world of free color that brings us light to our family world. Peace. Our peace, our peace. The love that a peace that gives us. The more we peace of not the world, how they struggle, give us their peace. See, the peace of anxiety, the peace of depression, the peace of headache, the peace of overwhelm, the peace of not giving up. They say that's their peace. But our peace of the center of peace, the center of hope, the center of love, the center of patience, and the center of gratitude. Peace. How I'm doing? How I'm doing? Okay. Hero. The world give us heroes, little heroes and big heroes. But many times they look at the big heroes. But many times we have little heroes. The heroes of telling their stories, the heroes that struggle the most, the heroes that's brought us light, the heroes that struggle the most, our heroes. The heroes of great gratitude, the heroes of not giving the love that shares to the world, the heroes of today, the heroes for tomorrow, the heroes for the future, the heroes, little heroes, big heroes, many designs, they're still heroes. The heroes of the greatness, the heroes of the little greatness, they're heroes. The heroes, they're heroes. Many kinds gave us heroes for today, tomorrow, and forever. Heroes. I'll go around the world to tell my story to every girl, for every boy, for every woman, for every man. I'll go around the world to tell my story. Keynaa, Theatrasat, Kiana the artist. All in one, the attitude of character to visible love to unspoken word. I'm the artist. I'm the artist. He believe in God, believe also in me. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I'm a woman with faith through God's what matter to me, what falls in place to never to justify what you can become. Every day is a new day. Every day is a bright and sunny day. I tend to be with my friends and become even more. My deepest fear is to believe in yourself, to judge me because I am Black in this moment of speech. Now walk in my shoes, now walk in my shoes, now walk in my shoes, now walk in my shoes. My naysayers can't say what to say about you because I am somebody, because I am somebody. To the natural eyes, to the natural ears, look at me, I'm natural. He says he determines you. Is this mic on? Can I have your attention, please? Words and dreams, reality. So why I am here? Because I'm the next generation. Different. I was born to be different. When man sees differently. See, I am different in a different way. I was taught to be different, talk different, look a certain way. God said I'm the head and not the tail. He said I'm above and not beneath. I was born to be different. Journey. This road is called journey as we take this long walk. This journey may seem long. Hey, journey, which way to go? Which way to turn? Hey, journey, is there something up the road? Oh, journey, why did you pick me? Oh, journey, the burdens are heavy. Why do I have to take these things off? Oh, journey, I have to take God with me. Oh, journey, I walk by faith and not by sight. Oh, journey, God is beginning and the end. Oh, journey is a new start, new destiny, new people. I am the journey that's called life. Thank you, guys.
Oh, thank you. Unmute yourselves. A big round of applause. What a powerful set that was. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Said,
Wow.
wow.
Taking over the
That's
world there.
great.
Anna. Wonderful. Thank you.
Ooh, ooh.
Thank you. And I put
Yeah.
everything in the chat for everybody,
Wow.
Just,
Whew. I need
just
a
keep,
drink after that. Thank you.
it's
Tell me water.
everything.
Tell
Yeah.
me water.
Yeah. Huh.
Right, we're going to move on. We're going to have to move on.
Guys.
Thank you. We're going to move to Elizabeth.
Hello there. What a wonderful collection of words and thoughts for this evening. I hope to add to that. The first poem is called Listen. The rustling of leaves on trees, their gentle swaying in the breeze, the babbling water in the brook, the gurgling pools in cracks and nooks. How often do we take time to stop and listen? Birds in the trees chirp beautiful songs. Crickets chatter all day long. mind whirling thoughts, endlessly churning. I've to do this and that. My brain is burning. How often do we take time to stop and listen? Hearts beat around 70 beats per minute, on and on, knowing no limit. Conversations between people often go awry. I didn't say or mean that, is often the cry. How often do we take time to stop and listen? Too often we waste. Our senses of smell, sight, hearing, touch, and taste to just be and live every moment of life seems a far cry from most human lives. We need to take time to stop and listen. The next poem has been inspired by my love of gardening and just the joy of the seasons of the year and looking around at the countryside. The joy of gardening. Seeds carefully sown spring to life. Little by little, they stretch through the soil to harness the warmth of the sun. Tomato plants gain strength from tiny beginnings. They too stretch upwards to the light in preparation for transplanting. Courgettes burst with colour, their yellow trumpets heralding a fruitful season, yellow and green adding colour to the garden. Pink, purple flower heads appear on herbs, carefully situated close to the ever-burgeoning peas and beans. Bees buzz happily, flitting from one to the other, pollinating as they go. Nature takes care of everything. Hedgerows burst into colour. Pink willow herbs stretch upwards. Meadow sweet complements with its delicate, white, fluffy plumes. Blue thistles, yellow buttercups, cowslips, clover, a riot of colour. Tall hogwood create a canopy for delicate purple vetch. How often do we walk with open eyes in the countryside to witness this array of colour? Joy fills my heart. My soul cries out with gratitude for love, for life, for nature's bounty.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Your screen froze during that, but your audio kept coming through.
Oh,
It was fine. Actually, to be honest, it froze at a funny. You make a funny face when it froze. Let's put it that way.
oh
But your
dear.
yeah, but it was great. Your poem stopped coming through. Your audio didn't stop. No, thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Okay.
Right, we've got a second Blot debutant tonight. Not going by our name on the screen. Our name's not really Samsung, SM, all the rest. Please welcome Ruby Starlight.
Hello. Today I have two poems for you. The first one might be a bit upsetting for some people because it's about my experience with grief, but I hope you enjoy. No heartbreak, no romance mattered anymore. My body became a ghost. My mind became a graveyard. My life became a funeral. The world's a black and white scene, any situation like some tragic scene, and the grass never looked green. The sky never looked blue. The weather never felt warm too. There was nothing left to do. You died. You were taken away from me and placed into the sky, like a distant star behind a cloud that I'd never even be able to see. I felt your blood pour all over me, drowned in a pool of self-blame, started going insane thinking I didn't pray enough, I didn't care enough. Some cruel curse knife cut you off. I let go of you too soon, like you were a shiny helium balloon flying away to the moon and never coming back. You're never coming back, never ever. The second poem I have is about becoming an adult because I've turned 20 recently. So it's about how I've felt very anxious around this time. I'm turning 20 this week, yet my list of achievements is so empty, and my box of insecurity is so full. My life feels so slow and dull, but time runs away too fast. I feel I may collapse from all this pressure never being enough. Since school days, we were taught to keep gaining gold stars, striving for a career we want, as if simply living isn't enough. The system we were trapped in is to blame for all our doubts. The world is so thirsty for making money now. Society inflicts such fear for choosing motherhood over a career. They outcast us, and it almost seems like to be a woman of dreams you must achieve before you're 30 instead of enjoying your 20s. So I drown in my tears and my fears, and I wish for something to stop time or age me like fine wine. But maybe the coming of a new decade can signify a beautiful new beginning within my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. Welcome to Blot. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Come again. We're here every month. Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you indeed. Okay. Who's next? Anja.
Hi everyone. I only have one piece today, and it's called Carefree. Carefree. On the lake this morning, the water was still, sleeping in its bed, dreaming in the wind. Swans passed by in a straight line. Could it be a mother, small ones following? So close, then gone. Just a glimpse, a moment of joy. Observations, a time without worries. Nature knows what is right. Thank you.
That was short and wonderful. Thank you very much, Anja. Always glad to have you. Always glad to have you here. All right. My mate Joe.
Hello, good evening to everyone. I've got two poems I want to read, if I can find them. First one's a wee bit different. I was experimenting a little bit. It's called One-Eyed Bob. One-Eyed Bob has cracked lips, and I envy his hair. He ought to have given him lip salve before the shoot, but he didn't lose the killer stare. He narrated for previous generations' struggles against demagogues and demigods. We still need him today. So don't go yet, Bob. What is it with blonde bombshells? I wish there was something I wanted as badly as they wanted to be noticed. I mean, how anyone can be as needy and as greedy as that? They must have had childhood issues. And now insecurities eat away at their fragile egos. I thought I had everything after I escaped the rat race and found myself some daylight and freedom. But now I'm not so sure. And I think I must be missing something. But I don't want to dwell on that and become all insecure myself. Back to the blonde bombshells and their childhood issues. Because it doesn't take an Einstein here to work out that something nasty must have happened there. They become skilled and duplicitous. They become skilled at being duplicitous. And they can read and work their audience so skillfully. And they can talk, man, can they talk? And when they do, hopeful hallelujahs fall helpless on the ground, just like they did at Jesus Christ's feet. They lie rotting with the other discarded offerings, while the empty promises and half-truths float off and disappear into the smoke of a million suburban barbecues. And they feed off insecurity and job loss threats, high mortgage interest rates that take hostages, and contracts that threaten to make you homeless if you disagree or decide to strike or work less, and promise you heaven while opening up hell, while they look you in the eye and say everything is swell. Anyway, sometimes we just have to pick our fights. We can't win them all. That's life. That's fine. Look up One-Eyed Bob and his good friend Paul and Jode. They will make you feel good. They will blow your mind. Thank you. That's the end of that one. And the next one is called Of Water. I realized that she is of the water. She knows where the tsunami lies. She knows the ninth wave without counting, and she rides the furious tide. She feels the waning of the full moon, losing power to the ebb and flow. She instinctively feels the rippled sand beneath her feet before her feet step onto the strand. She is Neptune entwined with Poseidon in a murderous lover's embrace, with rolling, heaving backs, reaching the calm of the ocean's face. Their passion feeds the Titan swell and sends the sirens diving to the depths. Spraying foam paints the stormy sky as their desire subsides and is spent. Her fluid fingers comb the beaches of distant unknown islands, and she claims and buries the nameless from 1,000 sunken galleons. She can calm the surface of the oceans, though she nurtures every tempest, and every tide that strokes an empty shore arrives there with her consecration. She helps the swell outrun the storm and arrive in the clearest of skies, but only fools ignore Beaufort's prediction of the furious seascape in motion. She is the mother of every omen. To her bosom she holds every drowned soul. She is the taker and giver of life. She is of the water. She is land's cradle. Thank you. It's me finished.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for having me.
It was great to have you here, pal. Always great. All right, Leonard. The Zoom is yours, sir.
Just fighting with the unmute button, nothing unusual. Okay, love songs, war poems. You folks get to figure out which are which. Night flights. Swarms of silent lightning bugs rule the otherwise dark backyard, staying close to the grass that's due for cutting. Above the high broken clouds, jets drag their sounds on leashes of time behind faster, flashing beacons. Sensitive to the noise of storms and celebrations, the dogs are indifferent to winged passers-by. Attention and concern fixed on that point beyond the horizon where the cannon roar from early fireworks resonates long after the pseudo-lightning has come and gone. I think of my grandson, partially back from Afghanistan. Even as a corner of me recalls night lights seen and rumblings heard, while a few miles offshore near Da Nang, and cries. On this journey of exploration, we have grown older. A good thing if we're honest. Time passes, stops to leave roots and memories which will intertwine and also change, then moves on, repeats, adds scars, fears, joys, lines and wrinkles, repeats, changes the surface of our bodies just when we think we've memorized each bit. The cords of your neck, your shoulders, and the smooth plain below, becoming deep, quick tributaries, merging, then joining between your collarbones to form a river flowing into the valley. So that in the dark, my old fingers can trace them gently, softly, unhurried in taking time to learn the new landscape and its shared pleasures, just as I have with every change since our trek began, as we will together. Repeat, rejoice, repeat. The state of Georgia salute. The plaque lists the numbers of American prisoners of war and those missing in action for 7 wars, from 1775 to 1991. It is an admirable memorial, mounted on a brick wall at a rest stop along Interstate 75. Collateral, adjective, related but secondary. There are few mentions of civilian deaths in the Revolutionary War, ignoring the proposition that all wars are revolting. Summing up various sources, there were probably less than 200. In the war between the states, Georgia's name for it, not mine, approximately 5,000 civilians. World War I, around 10 million. World War II, between 50 and 55 million. Korean, not officially an American war, 2 million to 3 million. Vietnam, perhaps as many as 2 million non-combatant men, women, and children. Persian Gulf, maybe 100,000 to 200,000. The plaque hasn't been updated. God forbid we should talk about collateral issues, about indigenous peoples, the enslaved, all the unmentionable and therefore forgotten conflicts since day one of America. This is the midpoint of 2023 current era. American civilians killed by gunfire on American soil this half year, only about 14,000. And there is no salute to them. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Leonard. That was wonderful. Thank you. All right. Next up, Gary.
Hello. How are we? Scotland, can you hear me?
I can hear you fine, sir. Yep.
Good.
Loud and clear.
All right. I'm going to try and do two. One was meant to do it last month, but sci-fi, bit of grieving again. But I like this one. It's about that. It's about the charity clothes bag. Straight off the hanger, pressed and creased, steamed. The clothes, previously known as cleaned and ironed, screwed up. The rest deep inside the large lipstick red charity bag, screwed, pressed, harder, deeper, to the time land forgot. Lowering her body into the grave was quicker. 12, 14, 16. We all know she was a perfect 18. These clothes were always smaller, pressed harder and deeper. The white ball gown with the champagne stain, the formal little black number, the green bobbly jumper for pruning the roses in late winter, and the faded jeans she pulled up the weeds again and again. Throwing the dirt over the coffin, sowed more seeds than reliving all those golden memories. a pink cardie, just in case there's a bit of a chill, a tartan blanket for our family picnics up the hill, a sky blue poncho which starts just in case it starts to pour on the windowsill, a blue blazer with a pattern white collar for church, always met the bill. Last push on the shower bag. I promise I can't forget her. Press harder and deeper. A cream blouse Dad bought for on a diamond wedding anniversary. What was I thinking buying that Disney waistcoat for Mother's Day? She said it was lovely. Well, it wasn't as bad as the polka dot Bermuda shorts she wore on holiday. Screw them up, press harder and deeper. The charity bag is Mum's life story. Oh, there's a khaki Parker into the Red Cross box to come to the aid of a young man after natural disaster. It might even be going to someone who needs shelter. Probably go to the pink lady in a fun run or a family burden in poverty. It might be going to James Brown, dancer, who's going to be a fancy dress winner. And I'm sure that scarlet French corset belonged to Madonna. That's it, no deeper. Tie it up, wait till Thursday, and the charity will collect her. Oh, that's my grief one just to fit in the night. And this is my one I just like. It's got a lot of border points in it. This is cool. It's called We Used to Be Tight. Time to push back the time. I used to be tight with them, Psalms 41:9, but then fight with them, Psalms 41:7, and quarrel all night with them, Psalms 35:1. So things can go get right with them. I used to be strong with them and sing out with them, Psalms 55:12-14, but things go wrong with them, so I go along with them, Psalms 1:1. I used to be right and then I'll be wrong. Sometimes I'm weak and sometimes I'll be strong. Sleep with a pride and knock down 1 Peter 5-6. Why can't we all just get along? Well, you tell me what's wrong. Proverbs 25:11. I can't figure out why your face is so long. I know you hold in your feelings so strong, but please tell me what's going on. Ecclesiastes 3:7. Because miscommunication causes assumption, misinterpretation causes even the righteous to draw the one conclusion. So tell me if you're truly my friend. Ephesians 4:29. This guessing game's got to end. Well, you've got to say what's on your mind. Proverbs 15:1. I used to be good with them, Psalms 55:12-13. We've already had that, but you forgot it. And eat some food with them, have drink with them, make promise with them. But things got moved with them. My fight, the whole order them, Psalms 5:9. I used to be cool with them. And sit at school with them, Psalms 55:14, which is slightly different, Psalms 55:12. But things then turn full with them. See me going and be full to them. I used to be right and I'd be wrong, sometimes weak, then I'll be strong. And so full of pride, 1 Peter 3:8. And then knock down Ephesians 4:2. Why can't we just get along? You've got to say what's on your mind. Ecclesiastes 3 said, I'm sorry, you'll say, I've got you. I want things to go back in time. It was always fine, but we smiled for miles and miles. Time to push back the tide. King Canute agreed with Daddy Harry. The tide is high. And I'm going to give you number 1. All that glitters is not gold. The dust of the decorating belt through to break bread and keep their top hats on the table. As they serve their regret and sorrow of destroying weaponized drones. Living in fear, living at the start, the end of life, held at hostage by regime lives, held at knife point to fear at the end of life, bushwhacked by colonizers at the mercy of the oppressors of the tongues of mankind. Only words of hate. Breath extinguished with deceit. Real truth is a kryptonite. Is kryptonite to the hypocrite. No complacency with sin will be marked in the New Testament. this land of make-believe, captive to our own lies. It's the lying, not little white lies. In this race, we're losing. It must falsify everything. Everything's falsified. The past is usually justified by falsifying the stats. Did you hear me? Falsifying the stats. Pretend to respect the rights of humans. It tends to respect, to persecute no one. It just pretends. It pretends to do nothing. We've been had. We've been misled. Stuff that up, you privileged committee. Can't you see the man is naked? He's got no balls. Millions could have stopped this man getting elected. Press mute the self-serving politicians. The man at the corner shop. That's £2.40, please. It is permanent. The man at the corner shop has the knowledge to listen. The liberty of the working class is determined by how many can attend the seminar. The man at the corner shop will tell you his secrets by giving a masterclass. A masterclass. Gary, 2121. That's
Hey, Gary, never lets us down. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you. Okay. Yeah, right. We're going to be finishing early tonight because Kate and Gerald and Clive was supposed to be coming just about 9. They may still get here. We've one more reader to go, which is, if he's ready to go now, Mr. Ed Poetastic.
Eddie. Hopefully he's not on another open mic right now.
Oh, well, okay. Double done it. Well, I'm going to read one, and if he's not there and no one else is there after that, no one else wants to read, it hasn't read, we'll have an early night for the first time in 3 years nearly, but never mind. So, I don't know if I've done this one. It's called In Response. And his presumption is the mother of all fuck-ups, she cried, thinking that because of her colour, it was thought she would fit into any basket, and saddened by the lack of understanding that the root of all humans lay in a plundered continent, that all of us are the offsprings of travellers, some by choice and others because they had no voice, except the years and tears of separation and misrepresentation and presumption that because of physical difference, they are different. But within us all is blood and skin and heart and soul, where the sum is greater than the whole, and I am not the submissive empress of their dreams. She screamed, as single-minded schemers that want to take her to the cleaners, move her to the side of intolerance, with no room to maneuver into the space of decency, where we are all kings and queens fighting this place. We are forced to wear labels because history still lives on today, holding sway when all that is needed is to drop the veil of superiority, stop the unequal compulsion that one nation, one religion, one person is better than the other, when we should all be respectful sisters and brothers. And I think we're going to finish there. Thank you all again, unless Ed Poetastics come over.
No, I just.
Thank you, Finn.
Finn, could I try and read after all?
Sorry?
Could I try and read a couple of pieces?
Yeah, go on, sure, of course you can.
I wasn't going to, but if we're running short and yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just to give, I don't usually give a pre-explanation, but it's hit me pretty hard. I've had, you know, I live in Finland and they're really strict about like your qualifications and so on. And I've just worked my beeping heart off, my ass off for the last couple of years, trying to prove my worth at a workplace, and they've finally decided to let me go because I don't have a finished qualification. So I knew it, I could see it coming, and I saw it coming for months and saw what was happening around me, but my manager refused to tell me. She took leave when the shit hit the fan, and so I had to ask my colleagues. So I got word from them, and then finally she got the guts to call me Tuesday and give me the good news. So anyway, so I've written this piece. This is called Displaced. In place of displacement lies a thick forest full of lies. Circuit root in circles and cuts itself off at the root, losing. Working your ass off, watched by those who can't be asked. Whinging from greater heights as they shovel the shit that builds inside. Toxicity burns your eyes, but tears come from loss of pride. Self-pity rises ever so slightly, but God forbid anyone who pities me. For I am queen of the underworld. Just a supper. And I will sing and glide, leaving behind remnants of the box left, scattered and torn, shredded and worn, ashes rain down, and into the mouths agape from those who never saw it done like that before. And my trail of ash follows me, as they will never forget the one who did it differently. That was a new one. That was new shit. This is fairly old shit, but quite relevant today given our new change in government to the far right. Sorry to those who've heard this before, but you know, whatever. Marginalised by the very margin of errors, skulking in the shadows cast by the fringe dwellers, we are the dirt, clinging to the roots, the clay soil that falls to dust from the last cuts ripped out of the ground that nobody wants. Laying new roots in Finland features slightly different fine privilege given only to Finns who fit, but the box we don't fit in seems to be splitting. Individualism pronounces our entrance, peculiarity, flashing neon signs, forced to express our worth in new currency, previous experience unnecessary, prior education dismissed repeatedly. Clambering into the too hard basket, I lose my footing. But you can't even compare me to the refugee from the Middle East or an African cousin with melanin skin. Prejudice turns to the disease of racism. You can't count the rungs on the beanstalk to acceptance. You can't rise above ignorance, lost from existence. Regulatory integration is systematic indiscrimination in our relation to gain strict qualifications with guidelines to clean Finland's toilets. And the end goal's hidden in bureaucratification. And the pattern continues, and there's no way into the systematic, cyclical cistern. Migrant skills disappear down murky toilet bowls, drowning, accelerating in the currents of centripetal formation into the sewage below. And the foreigner weeps for lost identity. And the bureaucrat cheers for the guarantee of the broken will. And the refugee drops deep into the septic tank, overflowing, and pushes blind to find a way through, trying to see what's left of the roots dug out of the ground that nobody wants. And concrete rules laid over the flower bed will pave the only way out. Thank you.
Wow. Wow. Thank you very much. I'm really sorry of all this shit happening there. It's
Yeah, that's fucking life, mate. That's fucking life in the land of tall trees.
Heartbreaking world we live in just now, sadly. It's awful. But thank you for doing that, because without that, then we would have closed shop and Kate and Gerald and Clive would have come in empty there. All right, Ed Poetastic's awake and ready to read.
Thank you, my bro. Like no other with words like thunder. Woo! Always burning us right under. I'm loving it. Hello, my name is Ed Potasco, feeling fantastic. Please get a time to join my rhyme for sublime. I got two pieces, so you know I'm gonna rhyme. My first piece is called Anti-Twilight Zone. In a world where food and utility prices are high, where fossil fumes are ruining their skies, where they toss common sense aside, where they use guns to shoot when someone offers them a ride, in a world full of mini or big flashing screens, where they accept technology but refuse to strip their humanity, where they slowly pollute their oceans and seas, where giving them likes or money fears their sympathy, in a world where violence is on the rise, where a few make speeches but aren't so wise, where they wear strange outfits for a disguise, where they don't care about quality but size. In a world where a few of them act like sheep, where a few stop thinking but leap into the frozen creeks, where they laugh at their wounds so painful and deep, where offering them support makes you a creep. In a world where the wealthy are jailed for enormous accusations, where they're avoiding the charges and travel to unknown destinations, where they drink the sun and decadent wine on a vacation, where they blame it on miscommunication or misinformation. In a world where a snob can be a queen or king, where you show off your body, money, and sparkling rings, where it's cool being a puppet on strings, where you look good but can't dance or sing. In a world where they judge you by your race or skin, where only bullets and pleas transcend, where only crooked cops ascend, where life from within reaches unforeseen end. In a world where huge epidemics are in the past, where they refuse to wear a mask, where you should respect but not ask, where it's much more popular to be in a pourable flask. In a world where it's cool to be dumb but not smart, where completely nothing can be sold for equivalent art, where you can be sweet but it comes off tart, where it's about conflicting nonsense but not from the heart. In a world where you can travel to oceans or space, where they want to win the political race, where they can change everything, including their face, where they chase and chase to find their place. In a world, hold up, this isn't fantasy, but reality. Please forgive me of offering virtuality to your morality. It's not brutality of your commodity. It's to give literality in your dimensionality. Thank you. And I got one more. This is called Green-Eyed Monster. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love this open mic that makes our Monday night such a delight in the spotlight. This is called Green-Eyed Monster. I'm a monster, but I'm timid, not monstrous. I clench only roses, daisy, and violets in my fists. I know look sickeningly green, unhumanly tall, and simply dubious. I eat people, but mainly vegetables and fish. How did I came to be in my spontaneous misery? I heard it's alive. Then my body felt jittery. Move my body was slippery and trickery. Only mumbles and grunts for my delivery. My whole body's made from the dead. Yes, you heard what I said. I still feel their memories and emotions inside my head. I hear cries, laughs, curses, and moans when I go to bed. My memories are pieces flowing to my mind. The mementos of the dead that are not left behind. Our lives, face, and destiny, even our bodies are entwined. I'm there mumbling, stumbling, unholy guide. I'm Frankenstein. No, my godly father is. No, it's not joy or divine. It's not my name, but his. It's his name, not mine. I'm no name, and he's the science whiz. Asked my father, what was my purpose? He started showing me complex notes. He simply says I'm an experiment he wants to promote. He said out of all his failed experiments, he loved me the most. Father, Father did make me a feminine undead lover. I adore tender moans with each other. A new shade of warmth for this grotesque monster. After her death, I still suffer from a pain I can't recover. At a moment of rage, I broke out of my remote cage. I stumbled to a vivid and green stage, a new lively and vibrant page. The fluffy creatures and tiny dots were strange. I met a little girl by the pond. Her dress was colorful with hair so blonde. She stared at me, curious and odd, a new beginning of our strange bond. She laughed and gave me a tiny little flower, the fragrant scent with a warm shower. I'm her friendly green, unique tower. It was nice to experience something so sweet and sour. I heard a voice. She smiled and gave and waved at me. She said, "See you again when I'm free. I'll stay here, resting underneath a tree. It'll be me with the plants, animals, and bumblebees." I woke up. There she was, my dearest friend. We're going to have fun over again. Let's play tag, hide and seek, or pretend. A loud scream transcend. A man screamed, "Honey, get away from that thing." His silver tongue did hurt and sting. The sharp rock started to fling. I left. His rage still rang. I ran to an abandoned house. I was quiet than any church mouse. Had my doubts when I heard shouts. They kept me in while I wanted out. They hold pitchforks high with fire in their eyes. They howl in the empty, dark, smoky sky. They scream while their torches rose high. The flames burn everything, including my cries. Damn my normally large, enormous feet. I could never be normal discreet. I could never indulge in something sweet. Oh, fire bad! The raging, painful heat. My breath spewing from my blackened lungs. I'm decaying inside the sun. The embers feasting away my eyes and tongue. My body slowly become one with the crumbs. The painful flames are binding at my crying flesh. Hope my blackened corpse gives you bright relief. The nameless monster responsible for your inner tormented mess. I love my short life, even it was chaotic, misunderstood, and brief. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
You say, sir, I call you brother. Thank you for spreading the love for each other. I love this open mic. It burns right under. Woo!
Thank you. Thanks, brother. Cheers. Let's see you New York soon. Not this week, like, but soon. Okay. Kate.
Hi everyone. Got a sort of theme of well-being and friendship, and I'm going to share with you the first poem I've ever written in my sleep, literally. Woke up about 3 o'clock, wrote it down in the dark, and this is, I'll tell you that it'll be the second one I read tonight anyway. So, my anxiety says, no one cares. So look out for yourself and everyone else at the same time. My anxiety says, you are the black sheep. The wolves will chase you down to your death. My anxiety says you must keep running, watching left and right, and always looking behind. My anxiety says you must stay out of sight, hiding in plain view, and for heaven's sake, stop being you. My anxiety trips me up repeatedly, makes me breathless, steals my joy, ever vigilant, pacing, pacing, always restless. Okay, that's a little light one to start with. And then here's the 3 o'clock poem. Gerald writes at 3 o'clock. Yeah, but Gerald, I was fast asleep and it anyway. My soul aches for a friend who takes my mistakes and makes them learning, who makes the burning shame I feel, reframing it by naming it love. Thank you for that. Midnight poem. And then this last one's called Friendship. When I spend a weekend with my friend, we untangle knots. We find each other at the end of blind alleys, turn on the light of introspection and guide each other to new pathways. We notice all the heaviness, weighting each other's words, and find the helium balloon of the moment, tie the thoughts to each string, then let them do their thing. We experience history and artifact. We drink tea and have a laugh. We talk for hours and seconds pass. We sit with knowing and not knowing, holding both with kid gloves. We share the many hats we wear, the meanings we make and are making. We hope for things that for people that make them well. We wonder at the craziness of it all. We drink more tea and quiet falls. We sit in each other's presence and it feels like we've always been together, but only in this moment finding words that weave into blankets that soothe the hurts, and we keep worrying at those knots together with a gentle curiosity that inquiry will find a way to free the tangles that have defined you and me. And until we find the strands of our identities clear and bold and opinion free, the loss and love and hollowness in every fibre of our being, alone we had no way of seeing. But the microscope of our friendship does. It shifts and sorts and helps us both. When I spend a weekend with my best friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right, Clive.
Hello. Okay, I haven't got much new stuff at the moment, so some of you will have heard some of these, but some of you haven't, so I'll count that as a win. And I'm going to start by damaging your ears by attempting to sing. Everybody knows me that I am a wonderful singer, but I hide it very well. And I also like butchering Beatles songs. I'm a big Beatles fan, and but I do tend to butcher their songs. And this one, I'm sure you'll know what song it is without me telling you, even though I can't sing. Picture yourself as a skunk in a library with no reading glasses and shit in your eyes. Somebody tells me you stink like a Tory. You're taken by utter surprise. No one smells that bad, I'm sure you'll agree. That's what the poor skunk replied. Look for the bastards with blue rosettes on, they're the ones. It's always the same old story. That putrid smell is always a Tory. Nothing smells as bad as a Tory. Anyway, that's enough of that. So the next one is not a song you'll be glad to hear. As I say, some of you will have heard it, but this is how to write a job reference for someone who thinks you've forgiven them. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to supply a reference for Billy, or Sweaty Bollocks as he was known in prison. Not without some justification, I'm led to believe. I met Billy in the heyday of football hooliganism. Admittedly, I was only doing a stretch for attempted murder and for playing Adam and the Ants in a public place, with the sentences running concurrently. But I looked up to Billy for having the courage of his convictions in his hatred of Oxford United. Okay, he took it a bit too far, but he was young. We became friends and committed a few armed robberies together when we were released. But we never got caught as we framed the local Tory election candidate, who incidentally is due out in a couple of weeks. But I can honestly say he has turned his back on violence and did some voluntary work as treasurer of the Bowls Club until they went bankrupt. You would be lucky indeed to employ someone of Billy's quality. With what you pay, I have to think back to the days where he would only consider working for you if he was eyeing up embezzlement opportunities, to be honest. What giant strides he has made. On the hygiene front, I'm told his bollocks are no longer sweaty, though I cannot testify to this. I am sure that provided you allow him to smoke weed on duty, he will be a loyal employee. He is intolerant of heavy-handed opposition to drug use at work, though he maintains that the shrooms were not his. I hope you will give him the job, as he owes me that $5,000 I lent him to bribe the coppers, and I want it back. He is not an arsonist. So that's that one. And I've got a couple of, or three very short things, which I'm not going to call poems, but the first one, I went for a stroll and found myself thinking, Tony, Boney, Phony, Coney, Blair, Scare, Mare, Dare. Yes, they were war crimes. And this is Fred. Fred bought a copy of the Daily Mail and his life changed forever. Engrossed in anti-immigrant propaganda and right-wing bullshit, he got hit by a bus. What a shame. And the last one is a very short one. I've been experimenting with Clary Hughes recently because they're good fun to write, and you know. And in honor of Franz Schubert, this is Osman's unfinished Clary Hugh. Jeremy Hunt is an easy target. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, Clive, brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. Thank you. This is, well, I was going to do the one I sang the other night as well, but I'm glad I didn't, so. All right, we'll finish with Gerald.
Hi, everybody. In honor of those of us who are 3 o'clockers, this is called Uninvited Sheep. If I could only fall asleep, I'd dodge those uninvited sheep who gather round my swimming pool and laugh at how the man's a fool, and drink my liquor, eat my cake, and laugh how I am still awake. They want my money, that's the thing. They want to doll their coats in bling. Insomniacs pay through the nose, and sheep are canny, I suppose. But if I only fell asleep, I might outwit those mobster sheep. Here's a little one. I was walking through Walsall town centre, which is where I live. Not surprising. And there was a busker. This is called Busker and Girl. He is playing on the high street and she alone is listening. It isn't that exceptional except to her. I suppose he is 20 and she is similar. It is the first step towards something, perhaps. I do not know, except that it is not so warm to be standing there, the only listener to someone's love song, oblivious to the world passing by. So another little one here, while we're on sheep, because I know you love sheep, this is two sheep talking, and it's very profound, this one.
Round here, there's only small hedgerows. You can't even get a loaf of bread. I don't want a loaf of bread, the other sheep replied, and returned to munching the grass. True story, absolutely true. Happened exactly as I explained it. Now, I'm just going to do one here, which I've been kind of working on, so I'm not sure whether it's quite got there yet, but I hope so. It's called Sunken World. I think you'll know what it's about. I actually watched the film about the Kursk the other day, which kind of got me set off on this. Down where the Kursk lies and the Titanic rests, where the Revenge and the Vasa and the Duke of York and the Bismarck wait for worlds to end. Down in that silent sea where creatures we cannot imagine wander, creatures unaware of what lies above or what these strange shapes presage, unaware that these wrecks incarcerate bones and once valuable valuables. Down where warships rust and tankers squat, where liners spread eagle, not that there are eagles at these depths. Down where sodden guns are flatly deposited, where tanks and toffs both drown the foolish and unfoolish alike. Down in this vacuum, nothing is spoken, no news broadcast. Why should they speak who have nothing to speak of? Why should they prognosticate who have no views to express, no reason to express them? Down where the Titanic lies, and those who visit never return. Down where nothing that we do or think matters. It is a sobering thought, should you think about it. Down in those depths, those Kraken depths where the Titanic lies. Down there, all is perfect silence. Okay, Phil, do you want another quick, funny one? That's a bit.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do one about. I don't know if you've had one of those bus journeys, which didn't go very well, but this is called entomology on the bus. And if you don't want to meet entomologists on the bus, really, it's my warning. It's a true story, like all my poems. Richard Nixon came up to me spouting entomology, while Warren G. Harding, also on the bus, told him not to cause such a fuss. And Grover Cleveland, who I noticed was in board, echoed encouragement from a drunken Gerald Ford. Then Trump said to Nixon, "Dickie, you and me know bigly much about teeny weeny bees," until JF Kennedy piped up and laughed, told the pair not to talk so daft. "Birds and bees, that's the thing I like." Everyone went quiet, including Ike. And Washington and Lincoln both said pants. There's nothing in the Constitution about the habits of ants. But Madison told them he wasn't that sure. He left his copy on the dining room floor. Well, it got so heated, I thought there might be a mistake with the button and World War III. That's when I decided to avoid further pain. Next time I went to Birmingham, I'd take the train. Absolutely true. Every word of it true. I wouldn't lie to you or make it up.
Of course you wouldn't. Of course you wouldn't. Buses, nobody lies on buses. Maybe. Okay, thank you very much indeed. And thank you. We are still earlier than normal to finish, half an hour at least. We thought we were going to be finishing at 9 o'clock tonight, but we managed to get going. Thank you very much. I'd like to thank, they've all gone, but I'll thank you anyway. Thank Kayana for a wonderful feature set. It was really, really quite astounding. To two new blotters in the Black Widow and Ruby Starlight popping in. Excellent stuff. And thank you all. Those of you who haven't, you've got 2 weeks still if you're going to put a poem in for the Blotters anthology. Most of you have got the minutes on here. There's a few haven't, but still got 2 weeks. Doesn't have to be a new one, as some people thought. It could be old. It can be whatever. It could be rubbish if you like. It's not. It's not. You don't do
Super.
rubbish. I know. You don't do rubbish.
Is that for me, Finn? Yeah, I'll do the rubbish.
Yeah, you sent some sheep in, Gerald.
That's
Yeah.
a good way to like promote your anthology there.
I have some new crap I could send you, Finn.
And the next blot won't be
Buy
the
this anthology is full of crap. Yes.
Open the floodgates, Finn. Shouldn't open the floodgates.
Or any other similar kind of gate.
Can't
yes.
get a word in edgeways now, can he?
That's all right. It's all right. The thing is,
It's not your event, Finn, after all. We're not going to let you speak.
It's our event.
Yeah, it's all about us.
It was because you said it. You could send crap as well, so you shouldn't have said that.
Go until 10 o'clock. We'll be fine. Because I've got no rules in the type of poem or length of poem, there are some pretty bloody long ones I've put in, and I'm not editing them out. They're really good. There's some really short ones too, which is fine. The next blot is not on the first Sunday of the month. It'll be the second Sunday of the month because the first August is the Pisligo Festival. So I'll be dealing with that on the Sunday. The week after that's the Stonehaven Festival, but I'm only doing that on this Thursday. I'm not staying the whole weekend. So blot will be on whatever day it is in August, 12th, 13th or something like that. And we've got no feature point, just we're all features next month. And thank you very much. It's been another great night. Thank you.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you, Finn.
Gentle with yourself, people.
See y'all later.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Thank you,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.